Good evening. This is just a little video update on the state of play of my hip. Must be about over 12 months ago, maybe more. I went to the doctor and I went through all the procedures about getting an x-ray for my hip. The x-ray confirmed that my left hip was just, the bones were just rubbing. There was nothing in between them. There was no cushion in between them, and I needed a hip replacement. Now, at that time, the hip was not particularly sore and the legs were not sore. I could walk my usual distance of 5 or 6 miles with no problem. But I was scheduled to go down to the sports clinic at Santry in Dublin, and this was with the cross-border initiative, and I was scheduled to go down in May sometime, and the ladies down there told me that the operation would be done and dusted basically by the end of May, and I would possibly be walking early June. Well, coronavirus crept in and put everything on hold, and the Santry Clinic was taken over by the Southern Irish government, and all operations, knee replacements, hip replacements and anything else that was going on down there were just halted. So that's the state of play, except 6 months ago I was not in pain. 6 months ago I could walk 5 or 6 miles. Today there is pain. I'm reduced to walking no more than half a mile. Even 100 yards uphill is a real struggle. Your legs are like tree trunks. You just can't move them. You're breathless after about 50 yards if you're not on the level, and your walking speed is reduced to basically a crawl. So I don't know when I'm going to get this hip replacement done, and I don't know whether the European Union cross-border initiative that they have running with our health service, which has okayed me for this operation, I don't know whether this will actually be in situ by the end of this year, and if it's not, then I'll have to pay full whack of money, which is about £10,000 to £11,000 to get the hip replacement done. At the minute, with the cross-border initiative, if that went ahead and I got the operation, say in October or something like that, I would only pay about £3,500 overall. So it's quite a financial chunk, and I don't want to delay this hip replacement any longer, because if my hips have deteriorated, or my hip has deteriorated so badly in 6 months that I'm really struggling to walk, I'm in pain. My sleep pattern, my sleep is broken 3 or 4 times a night with the pain of it. I don't want to have to delay. So we'll see what happens. I'll try and get in touch with the people down at Santry to see what's happening from their end. But that's just a wee update on my hip replacement procedure, which has been postponed for who knows when. So I hope you're not in the same position, and I know that there's an awful lot of other people looking for various medical procedures that are far worse than what I'm having to cope with, but it is just very difficult. I'm going to show you actually the way I'm walking now. So my son will video, and even to get up there it's sore. He'll show you I'll walk up to the end of the house here, and you'll see, and I'll walk back again to see what my walking is like. Now, funny enough, I need a hip replacement in the left hip, but it's actually my right leg and my right knee is actually sore, really sore, especially the right knee. And I don't want it to get so bad that it interferes with and troubles me about riding my motorbike. I don't want that to happen, but it's going that way. Okay, that's just where I am, and I'm giving you a wee update, and there you go. And if I had waited for the NHS to give me a hip replacement, I could have been waiting. So I was told about a year ago. I could have been waiting between 2 and 3 years. So I wasn't prepared to do that. And it was either pay the full whack of £11,000 or try and run with this cross-border initiative. With that means that you can go down south to any hospital, and as long as you've got the OK from the NHS, your health trust, that you require this operation, then you pay the money, the 11 grand or so up front, and then you get 2/3 of it back again. But I wasn't prepared to wait for the NHS to come good, because it'll probably be maybe 3 years for anybody who applies for a hip replacement today. You know that's totally ridiculous for people who are really struggling. And if this hip replacement, doesn't happen before Christmas, I can see myself being in a wheelchair, simple as that, because I'm really struggling to walk on occasions, really struggling now, and as I say, there are a lot of other folks an awful lot worse off than me. My hip replacement necessity isn't going to end my life or anything like that, but your quality of life is certainly affected badly. But that's just the tail end of that wee update. See you soon.